The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you.
Call security!
Ryan in Chicago. You're on Rover's Morning Glory. Good morning, Ryan. I like this guy already. I like this guy. This guy, wow. All right. Now, do people tell you that you are a goofball? Or
We met young Ryan Hoppe. Ryan.
Okay, and your name?
Ryan Hoppe.
Okay, Ryan Hoppe. Where do you live?
Arlington Heights.
Ah, so you're from the rich north suburbs.
What's going on, Ryan Hoppe? This is Tony Romo.
Your buddy Ryan Hoppe.
No one knows who Ryan Hoppe is.
You never have to worry about offending Ryan Hoppe.
Isn't he like 7 foot tall?
He's 7 foot tall. He's
a kid.
He's a kid. He's been trying to find his place in radio.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. He's just, I don't know. He spread himself pretty thin.
He's got good mentors.
And he's motivated.
Hoppe Hour is on now. Hoppe Hour is on now.
Yo, what's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal for this show is to change the way you think about things for the next hour. I want my thoughts and my opinions to broaden your horizon. And we don't have a phone line on this show because we're doing it from my small apartment.
Your small pub?
Mm-hmm. And not the Kevin Howley show set up in beautiful Newport Richie. So we don't have a phone line, but you can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And once again, trying to build a panel on this show. So back as usual is my good friend AJ from the Lazy Ass Podcast. What up, dude?
Hey, what up, Hoppe? Great to be back again.
I know, I'm trying to build a panel here because I've known you for a year and a half now, and I like the talent you bring to the table. So I thought, why not have you make me look better?
Okay, yeah, I can get down with that. That intro, though, did not make you look better at all because I was sitting here and you were messing with the phone with the Periscope for like 2 minutes. I didn't know how much.
The thing is, nobody saw that because I waited until it began. So
That's good.
The thing is this.
It's good.
Am I like Howard TV or Shane French TV, a.k.a. RMG TV or Bone TV, where I have a legit setup with a phone line? No. I record off of my girl's old phone via Periscope for Hoppe TV that goes to Twitter. And then I have a nice Mivu camera that I connect to my iPhone, and then I film Hoppe TV for Facebook. But the issue is this. I don't have a phone line here because I live in an apartment that I pay $500 per month for, so there's only so much you can ask for from it. It's not the nicest place. It's not the worst place. It's in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the best place ever.
No, I mean, well, like you keep asking me every time I come here.
I'm very self-conscious.
Do you like the place? And then like I'll be like, yes. I mean, your place is nice. There's a living place. It's a living area. You have a fully working kitchen, a full functioning bathroom. And it's all right. And then the next time I come here, you're gonna ask me the same exact question.
I'm self-conscious because Melissa doesn't like having people over because at times they can get messy. So I like your approval, AJ. I seek your approval. I want your approval in my life because I was thinking about it. Now, if you want to admit it or you don't want to admit it, that's fine. I completely get it. But I would say we have a budding friendship. But I feel like when I first met you at Mike Helta's birthday 2 years ago now, this fall, I feel like you were a listener, you kind of knew who I was, but you wanted a job. And then I helped get you the job, and I told Mike O about you. Mm-hmm. And then we began working gigs together, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like us doing the show and us working every Tampa Bay Lightning game, I feel like we have this budding friendship that people notice.
Yeah, no, and like again, I've thanked you so much for like I would text you on Facebook and ask for any advice on how I should go about it and stuff like that. And
what an awful move! You want advice about making it in radio and getting on air? Let's talk to Hoppe.
I mean, I didn't ask for advice from that. I asked you. I just asked about the interview and asked about the whole process of actually getting on the Cox Media, which that was a long ass process.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I remember like I started.
Yeah.
The Mike Calta's birthday was on what was it? Like
September,
it was
late
on
September.
It was in September
2016.
I didn't. Actually doing the interview was pretty quick. I got the interview probably 2 weeks later.
Oh wow!
And then, but like actually like going through the process after like the drug test and after everything else, like I didn't think I'd get the okay till like about December. And then I remember like around November, I'm just like, all right, I got to look for a different job. I'm pretty sure like no one's they're not getting back to me. Then I got a call from some guy in Atlanta.
That's what I got the call too from some guy in Atlanta.
Yeah, no. So I mean, but I love working with the station, and I love just $10 an hour. For
Zevkin is checking in from Russia.
What?
We have
You're
been killing it internationally.
Wow.
We got listens in Egypt last week.
Really? Yeah. We're in Egypt.
I don't know.
I thought
The
listening
Pharaohs.
to
They are P1 listeners, Pharaohs. Dude, we're killing it overseas, man.
I thought listening to podcasts in Egypt was like banned. No free thinkers.
Listening to my graining
no.
voice is like torture. Like they're being like beat up, and they're like, "Let's turn on that dumb podcast from Tampa." What's up, bro? This is Happy Hour. They're being like beat up and whipped.
Dude, why do you keep why do you characterize your voice like that? Just say it regularly. Everyone will get it. It's like Gilbert Gottfried doing a Gilbert Gottfried voice, trying to act like him. Like you could just doesn't even matter. Just pretend like you're yourself.
It is weird when I try to impersonate the voice I have. Doesn't make any sense. Dude, so...
by the way,
what up?
Started pretty late.
Why? What's
no. Actually, no. Like we started pretty. You told me like I thought we were coming at 8 o'clock, and then it was like 8.
Okay. So here's what happened.
But I like to thank you because I live in Apollo Beach, Gibsonton area, and then you gave me the heads up. Don't come till 8:30. So I had like 30 minutes of free time. Have you ever been to Gibsonton?
No.
Gibsonton is like this whole like. It's kind of like the boonies a little bit. It's just it's not really like a fancy neighborhood.
It's not happening.
It's not really happening, but there's a lot of little parts in there. My whole life is basically in Tampa, where I go to school, Land O'Lakes, where a bunch of my friends are at, and like St. Pete, where I work at.
Yeah.
And so it's like a lot of I've never really had a chance to explore Apollo Beach and Gibsonton.
Sure. Yeah.
And have you ever seen a drive-in gas station? No, not a drive-in gas station, like a drive-in market.
Where you can buy like cigarettes and booze.
You can get cigarettes, booze, Mountain Dew, like whatever the heck you want.
A lot of it's up in the Midwest because everybody likes to drink and smoke. So yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I saw
Was it the one on US 19?
It's the one on US 19.
Right by like where was it near? It's like at the end of US 19, going towards that bridge that goes towards the Wawa. Yeah, man, I've been thinking about going there. I bet they have the best deal on beer.
It's crazy because like, it was like I always drove past it just to be like, you know what, one day I'm gonna go in there. You sent me the text and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, that's my one F word. That's my one F word.
Yeah, last week.
How many F bombs?
And then we'll get back to it. It's like 6 or 7. It's too many.
That's fine. What do you? Okay.
If I want to get on the radio, you can't be saying the F word every other word. I feel like Gareth brings it out of you. Because he does it where you don't notice that he's swearing, but then you listen afterwards and you're like, oh, man, he would still be fired.
I remember once when we were talking, and then like he said he referred to me as the N-word, and I was like, I really wanted to refer to him as the N-word too. I
get so uncomfortable whenever he says it on my show. I've taken it out of my show, or when he says it on the Lazy Ass podcast, because I know he can say it because he's black. I just get uncomfortable. My show is not clean by any means, but I like to keep it controversy free.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I had in my football team, some of the black players told me, "Oh, it's cool for you to say the N-word because you're Cuban." And I'm like, and I told them, for them maybe, and maybe for people. Like the thing is, I don't look Cuban. I'm a white kid with red hair. I look like I'm from Boston.
Dude, when you told me, AJ, that you were Cuban, I went, what? Huh? Wait, when?
That's everyone's
I literally
reaction.
looked at you and I went, this kid's Irish, German, and Polish. When you told me
that to be those exact 3 countries. No,
even
your
mom doesn't even look that Cuban.
Yeah, well, you can tell by her accent.
Oh, yeah, totally. I said, look, not her voice. Now, her voice does not match her face at all.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
No, I mean, no, like, I know
At
what
least
you're
I'm
saying.
not saying she's hot. You literally have to deal with everybody at work, even on air, referring to your mom as being hot. So that's the least weird thing that's ever been said about your mom, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you. You made a great point.
I love the fact that you just don't even get mad about it.
I hope you never make that point again, but thank you. Thank you. No,
she's a very nice lady.
Yes, she's a very, very nice lady, hardworking, and just a great person.
And you turned out well. You're working in radio at age 20. You're killing it.
Everyone in my family's in the medical field. Everyone. So when I go back to whenever I feel like visit family in Miami, they're just like, "Oh, so what are you doing?" Working in radio.
Making $10 an hour, putting up signs.
Turned out really well.
No, I have no problem with the job at all. I could just see you being like, they're like, yeah. No, like, let's paint this scenario. Family reunion. Do you have a lot of, like, nephews, nieces, cousins, a lot of people that are within the family?
I have a lot of people in the family, but I'm the oldest cousin, so I'm not.
But
there's not a lot of. There's actually I don't have a nephew.
Give it 10 years when there's a reunion and everybody's getting close to the end of their life, so they all want to see each other one more time. They'll be like, "Yeah, making a decent living. I got a radio show," and then they're gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm making $700,000 being a doctor. Yeah, I'm making $600,000 being a lawyer." And it's going to hit you, AJ. Right now it doesn't because you're the oldest and you're young and you have potential. But trust me, when you're making a good living, but you're not making a killing, like you'll make a great living. But there's going to be somebody that's going to take the route of going to class for 8, 9, 10 years. And look at them.
Dude, you got to calm down with that chair. Jesus. This kid's like squirming out of his chair. No, but to get back to you on that point,
good point. Radio 101. Mm-hmm.
No, the fact is that it's kind of weird, but I'd rather be doing this and actually try and work hard. Plus, I'm getting my degree in business management, which just in case radio doesn't work out for me, I have a fallback plan. But I'd rather be doing at least try to not work in a cubicle my whole life. So I'm glad that I get to do this.
I went to a radio class for a year at a place in the Midwest, and I'm the only kid in my class. That's not fair. I'd say 1/9 of my class has jobs, and I'm not counting jobs working at this place that you went to school for. Because when you go there, I'm not going to say the name of it, but I went to this radio place for a year, and they're like, "We have job placement. We have 55 to 75% job placement." Yeah, they give their kids that graduated teaching the other kids at the next classes about radio, even though they've never worked in radio. What a concept.
One of my.
So what I'm saying is, I'm doing okay in life, but you got a better future because you have the backup plan of being a business analyst.
I don't know, business management. I can manage a McDonald's if I wanted to. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. You know what? One of my teachers, I remember Mr. Crowley. Shout out to Mr. Crowley, who was in my high school. He told me that, like, in the business of media, a lot of these kids would say they go to Full Sail University or let's say any other. I don't want to give out any too much names.
Yeah, just don't go there.
Like trade schools, like they get kind of a bad rap in the business because they kind of come out as like. I don't know the word. Like they come out as like they're owed a job. Like they deserve the job because they went like 2 years.
The issue is there's no age limit, which there doesn't need to be an age limit. But here's the issue with any of the trade places, and I'll explain. So they have ads on the radio. Local radio DJs within their market do reads after traffic reports. This traffic report for Chicago traffic is being brought to you by this place where you can learn radio. Do you want to learn radio? Blah, 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 and have some of the best teachers in town. So then Joe Schmo, who's been told he has a smoker voice for 20 years, goes, "My smoker voice, I could sound like Man Cow and do my own show. So I'm going to go to this radio school, and I'll be the next Man Cow in Chicago, or the next Jonathan Brandmeier, or Dahl." What I'm saying is, the issue is this. Anybody can go. There's no test. They claim you have a test you have to take, but anybody can get it. anybody. So then, like, there's jealousy when the younger millennial talent get the internships, and then the middle-aged weird guys that are trying to figure out what they want to do aren't doing well. It's just what happens. And it's kind of a weird thing when I'm one of the better ones to come out of there. Like,
yeah, that's a very weird thing.
Someone who got catfished by a Cleveland shock jock and got into 2 boxing matches here in Tampa is one of the lead talents. Like, that's when you know you're like, come on.
A lot of it, what it comes down to, especially in that industry, and I'm talking, the way I'm talking about it, I'm listening to myself now. Like, I know the ins and outs of radio. I've been like a 20-year veteran. No, but a lot of it, what I hear from other people is experience, actually working the events, actually being behind the mic, or actually being behind the board is more valuable than.
Here's what I've said, and this is for anybody who's listening that wants to be in radio. And listen, you can go to these trade places. You need to go somewhere that gets you a foot in the door. Because I was going to a community college, getting all D's. I had an F in math. I wasn't paying attention. I was partying on the weekend in my hometown, going home drunk to my house and barely trying. But I put in all this effort into my show when I was doing it from my room, and I had a speech impediment, and I finally fixed it, basically. But what I'm saying is, at the community place I was going to, they were like, yeah, we don't have any ways for you to become an intern at any place. They didn't have any credits.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why am I going to keep going to this community college? And why am I going to keep getting all these grades that aren't going to mean anything and getting deeper in debt when I can just go to a trade place for a year and learn radio? Those places work, but you need to branch out immediately. The problem is these kids or these adults that go to any of these places where you can learn radio, they think it's just going to magically come to them. Yeah. Like that the internship or the part-time board hopping gig or whatever is just going to fall in their lap, and they're just going to go and knock at the door of the radio school.
And there goes the phone. Like I said, this is...
So basically what happened was I was knocking on the table with this Hoppe TV 101 setup, and I knocked on the table and I dropped it. So what I was saying is this. If you want to make it in radio, it's kind of dwindling right now.
Just leave it on the side, dude. Just leave it on the side.
I didn't know you could do that. It's literally dwindling by the minute. Not in a bad way, but you need to be the best you can be possibly in radio. For radio to work, you need to literally work every day and show why you're different than voice tracking. Then why you're different than any other person that wants to make it in radio.
Yeah. You're right. Completely right.
Did I motivate you?
You did. Now I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop dilly dallying and actually get myself a career.
All right. Great to hear. Here's the deal. I feel like we need to regroup after the Hoppe TV setup just fell on the ground.
That whole shit, yeah.
So you went through the one F word, and you went through the one S word.
Well, it's funny. Like before the break, I was like, "Can you just turn it on its side?" But you didn't know you could turn it on its. You didn't know that the camera can work like that, like any other camera in the world. They're just like no, it has to be up. It has to be resting on that charger, essentially breaking the charger.
Why didn't you say anything? For about a year now, I've been doing that. I was
like, maybe you prefer it that way, but I'm like, that's kind of weird. You've been doing it like that? How many years have you been doing it like that? You've probably gone through so many chargers because he rests on the charger, kind of bending it, and like you can see the little metal from the charger. I've been literally
doing that for, I don't know, since when did this come out? Periscope, 2015. Since I came to town, and I've had a co-host here, I go, let's half show my body and half show yours without knowing I can do it.
You learn something new every day.
That's why I have a 92 IQ. Very average. All right, here's the deal. We're going to come back on Happy Hour and talk about Toys R Us going out of business, but there's this new slow jam that came out. I'm so excited to premiere for you guys. It's an honor. I got hit up by this artist. He is out of Palatine, Illinois, and grew up with his mom and dad for 21 years, and then relocated to Cleveland and worked for a balding shock jock, and now lives here in Tampa. I don't know if you've heard about him, but here is his new song.
Oh, wow.
That he is premiering. Wow. I wonder who it could be. We'll be right back. Hang on.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, to you. Oh, yeah, babe. My whole life has changed since you came in. Since you came in, I knew back then you were that special one. You were that one. I'm so in love, so deep in love. You make my life complete. You complete me. You are so sweet, are so sweet. No one competes. No one competes. Glad you came in my life. You blind me with your love. With you, I have no sight. Look at you. Now look at us. All my friends look rich as fuck. All my friends look rich as fuck. All my friends look rich as fuck. Look at you. Now look at us. All my friends look rich as fuck. All my friends look rich as fuck. All my friends look rich as fuck.
NBA D-League coaches, nationally syndicated radio hosts, TV writers, comedians. You never know who will call in a happy hour.
Welcome back to Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show if we were doing it live.
Yeah.
Leave me a voicemail. 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-49-HOPPE. I will be sure to play it next week when we are live from the Kevin Holly Show setup in beautiful Newport Richie at the Dump Towers. Now, for people that haven't been there, like most people, how would you explain it, AJ?
It's actually it's a small room, but it's actually kind of cool the way it's set up. They got a fridge. Because I'm big and I remember the fridges.
Yeah,
I remember
fat.
everyone's refrigerators.
Yeah, you fat sack of dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, shut up. And then also there's
Don't smoke, you fat sack of dirt.
I can't. My vape is broken. Anyways, and you ripped your headphones out of the jack. But
cool.
yeah, no, it's a really cool setup. I like Kevin's an awesome person, and yeah, I really like it.
Everyone should check out the Kevin Holly Show, HOLLY, on iTunes. What?
There's chips everywhere.
Yeah.
There's broken chips because like Hoppe, whenever he eats chips, like 75% of the chips go in his mouth, but the rest of the 25% go on the floor around.
What about the time that me and you and Mel went to our friend Trey's beach house, and I was intoxicated when you picked me up because I'll never drink and drive because that's for losers.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. You bought Doritos from the local Wawa, and you decided to eat them, which you should. And I thought you were going to eat them, but apparently, like all the chips fell to the bottom of the floor, just cracked underneath your giant ass feet. I just remember the like coming home. I like turned the light on to look for my wallet, and then like I put my hand down, and there's just nothing but Cool Ranch dust all over my hand. I'm like, what the hell? And there's just nothing but chips down there. So thanks.
How long did that take to clean up?
I had to vacuum that. It wasn't long. It was just so much. I can't just, and it wasn't even like the big forms of chips. It wasn't like the big triangles. It was just like all into dust.
I'm a different person when I'm drunk.
You can't eat when you're drunk. That's the thing.
Dude, I get the biggest appetite when I'm drunk.
I'm glad you didn't eat a sandwich because half of that shit would be on the floor.
Could you imagine a pizza?
Fucking fudging pizza, fudging.
I feel like if you just say the F word randomly, just embrace it and just say it. 'Cause
Really?
you like, yeah, you'll go fucking fudging. That's my one F word, correcting you. But
Yeah, I know, but you get in a different mood. You're like, as soon as I say the F word, you like look at me like, stop that.
a point. I don't know if you saw this, but there's this headline here that is from CNN, and it is just.
Anderson Cooper?
Dude, I'm trying to get to this news headline, and Anderson Cooper's pop-up will not leave.
Hey, do you want to cut straight to the faces?
No, thank you. I have to click on it. Wow, that was annoying.
That is annoying.
You just want to read the news.
I don't want to see Anderson Cooper's face.
And Anderson Cooper's gorgeous face is right in front of me. All right. This is from CNN.com. KB Toys aims to fill the void of Toys R Us.
You know what? You know what KB Toys is? KB Toys is whenever you go to is when your parents don't want to go to Toys R Us and they take you to the mall. They want to do something else. They leave you in that store for 20 minutes while they go to the elevator to complain about you. Like the best.
I found out that Sienna's fake. He is? Yeah, he is. I found out he's fake because my mom, in like 2003 or 2004, she bought a bunch of toys from there and she left a receipt on one of them. And she's like, oh, no, Sienna shops there. And I was like, oh, okay. But that's when I began to believe it's not true.
My parents told me when Santa was fake, they sat me down. Like, because I remember I asked for, like, I think they told me I asked for about, like, $600 worth of toys. And at the time, they were just like, you know, they try to give the kid all he wants, but like I was 5 and I didn't have it. Like, you know, I didn't know. I just thought Santa's gonna bring out all this stuff. Then they're like, listen, there's no Santa, there's no Easter Bunny, there's no Tooth Fairy. I'm like, there's no Tooth Fairy. They're like, especially the Tooth Fairy, you idiot. I grew up fast.
What age was that?
I was like 5. I remember like they sat me down and they're like,
dude, guess what age I thought on Santa was fake?
I want to take a good hoppy guess.
Guess what grade?
What grade? 4th.
Higher.
Wait, no, that's terrible.
Say it.
Was it 5th?
Yes.
They let you go around for 10 years thinking Santa was real. Did your parents just not like felt like bad? They're like, oh, I don't want to rip his heart out right now. Or were they? I'm glad you didn't go to school with me because you know, like like those kids that told like
they were assholes.
Those kids that told their kids that Santa was fake, and then the parents were, you know, your parents were probably waiting for like the older kids to tell you that it was fake.
I didn't
but
want
those
to think
older
it's
kids,
true.
I would have been that older kid if that would have been like that.
Dude, I'm the type of guy where I don't want to think things are true that are, so I just kept saying, no, he's real. Even though I would hear my dad bringing presents in the back door at night. I'm like, no, that's just him doing things for some reason, you know?
You don't like to think things are true when they're true? Well, I don't have to wear a condom. I don't have to do that. That's fake. STD, screw that. That's fake. That's fake news.
Dude, the same thing happened last night when it comes to like me being in denial. So I'm driving home from work at 29945.
Ryan was a Holocaust denier by the age of 12.
Christ, these actors are real. I'm that hack Alex Jones. I'm angry. No.
Just kidding.
So I was driving home. And I was listening to 94.5. I like hearing throwback hip-hop. And a lot of the songs they play, even if I grew up on them, I'm okay with it being a throwback. Like, if I hear Lean With It, Rock With It, you go, yeah, that was 12 years ago, whatever. Or if you hear Biggie, you're like, yeah, that was 25 years ago. Or if you hear Run DMC, you're like, yeah, that was a lifetime ago. Hearing the song Dangerous by Akon and Cardinal Official, hearing that song on the throwback hip hop, she's so dangerous. I was like, that. Melissa was like, oh, you're being over dramatic, blah, blah, blah. Something about hearing that song on the throwback hip hop channel here in Tampa, I was like, damn, dude, I was a freshman in high school when that came out. That was like the first time recently that I've actually felt old.
I felt old when I heard A Millionaire on that station.
A Millie?
Oh, it was A Millie, sorry, not A Million.
I haven't heard that yet, but that'll make me... If I hear Lollipop, I'll feel definitely old, because that was like the song.
Dude. When a T-Pain song starts playing on that station, then that's when I feel... Because T-Pain was like He was the thing. He was it. He was the talk of the walk.
Listen. Here's my thing on time. It's like when 2005 was 10 years ago, you go, because I was like in 5th grade, so I'm like, okay. And there's 2006, and you go, 6th grade, I guess it's 10 years ago. 2007, you're like, I guess it was 10 years ago. Something about 2008, just because I was in 8th grade, and I went to Los Angeles that year, and I began high school, Obama got elected. I'm just like, that was a decade ago, dude. It's been really bothering me lately.
You know what's weird? Dark Knight is 10 years old now.
Dude, Heath Ledger's been dead for 10 years. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I remember I was watching TMZ when they were actually a respectable news source.
They were respectable?
Yeah, they would break all the news like they do now, but they weren't like, oh yeah, did you hear Kim Kardashian likes cunnilingus in her back door? Like, they'll literally have that as news.
I just hate that they're all like sitting in a room pretending to like each other. They're just like, hey.
No, they hate each other.
Well, no, that, and then the one guy who's like
Harvey Levin.
I don't even know that name. I don't even like. Wow. No, but he's just sitting there, kind of throwing some stupid jokes, going like,
and then the whole room goes,
yeah, I know.
They all laugh at the jokes.
It's just easy jokes, like, oh, Kim Kardashian's butt is so big, she could float on it. And everyone's like, that's a good one, Harvey. It's a good one. Oh my god! Like, just the worst reaction to like the stupid. They try to make. It's like when they try to make synergy, when they try to make everyone have chemistry in a show. It's like, hey, laugh at whatever the hell he says.
When it first came out, it was really edgy for like 2005. It was like the MySpace time. And that was like the first time, because all the entertainment news sites, shows like Entertainment Tonight, E! News, Inside Edition.
Real quick. Speaking of MySpace, I had the best layout for MySpace.
What was it?
Ozzy Osbourne. I was the kid. I was a kid with the Ozzy Osbourne, and then I held like my nunchucks from karate class to look badass. And I struck a pose, like I was like gonna do something to you,
dude. I had Al Pacino in the background, Scarface.
Yeah.
And then I had like whatever rap songs from 10, 12 years ago were on there. Dude, I would freeze my laptop whenever I would visit my own page because I was a narcissist in 7th grade because I had so much HTML and all those GIF codes.
Yeah.
You know, all of the little codes you'd put all the glitter. Mm-hmm. I would have like a dancing Meewad and a dancing Peter Griffin. All that little. That's what I miss about Facebook because I wish I could decorate my page. It'd be kind of cool to like.
I remember, well, like, there's this thing called, like, Phone Zoo or whatever. It was, like, an online thing to get ringtones and pictures. Like, when you have flip phones, you didn't really go on the internet that much. It used to cost, like, a lot of money to just go on the internet with a flip phone or...
Remember that? You would accidentally click on internet and it goes loading and you're like, no. And you're pressing the red X on your flip phone. You're like, don't go on the internet. Don't go on the internet. You're like, no.
And then instantly $100 gets charged.
Yeah.
No, I remember MySpace was the first social media I ever used.
Phone Zoo exists.
Phone Zoo still exists. Oh my god!
The website looks like 2006.
And you know what's funny? I was like one of the first kids to catch on to that, and so like I get friends by like
you were the trendsetter.
Well, I was the one that was sending like I would get the whole group message, and then I would send them one picture and then one ringtone. I'm like, oh, this is the thing for the week. If I need friends, so get them to get my number, and then I could just send them that stuff. And everyone was like texting me all the time. Like I think I did it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then everyone kept texting me afterwards, like, when are you going to send the new ringtones?
I'm so sad. I don't think I have my MySpace up anymore. My
Red Hot Chili Pepper?
No. Guess what my name was on MySpace?
What?
It was myspace.com/if he's 50 cent, I'm $1. You get it?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I completely get it. And I wish she never said that because my whole wow. Yeah, no,
if he's 50 cents, I'm $1. I don't even know what that means.
Are you searching yourself up on MySpace?
I'm trying to see if I can find it. I know my dad got rid of my account.
Did he really? Was he like, enough of this shit?
Well, I've talked about this when I was on Rover's Morning Glory. It's actually how I first got my inside thing with Rover's show when I was on it for 3 weeks. Essentially, seems like I was on it a lifetime. But when they were on in Chicago, Rover Show was on in Chicago for about 5 months. When they replaced Howard, they were in like 40th place. They were just ran out of town. But they had an intern that went to the same radio place I went to. His name was One-Eyed Bry, and he was this one-eyed guy who they made fun of on air.
Did he wear an eye patch?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I liked Rover Show when he was in Chicago. I listened, not anymore since I got fired, but I was a fan of his show growing up. But now I like Howard. It's basically the same thing. But what I'm saying is, I remember they had an intern named One-Eyed Bry. And when they got kicked off the air in the Midwest, I was like, no, I can't hear them on 105.9 WCKG in Chicago. I was like, no, I need to hear Rover yell about things in Doogie. So this is like 12 years ago, so they don't have like a Twitter, so you can't just like email them. So I'm like, I'm going to hit up that One-Eyed Bry guy. So I hit up One-Eyed Bry. Dude, he ends up being like a pedophile. Dude,
why
so I would talk to him all the time via AIM, and we'd be talking, and he's like, dude.
You laugh at the weirdest things. He ends up being a pedophile.
No, here's why it's funny.
He lured kids into his van.
No, here's
like,
why
that's... Just don't laugh like that. That just sounds like... I don't know. Like, I get it. It's kind of... Yeah.
No, you're not letting me explain.
Yeah.
So we would talk on AIM. He's like... So basically, if you live in Tampa, he would live as far as living in like St. Pete. Like you would have to drive a while. I was in the suburbs. He lived in the city. And he would go, we need to hang out and get ice cream and do this and that. And I was like, I don't know. How am I going to get there?
You want some popsicles? Is that how you talk, like Herbert?
So we would talk late at night because I was so bored on the weekend, 6th to 8th grade. And it was like 2007. Talking to him on the phone. And this is when it was a landline. And I'm sure my dad's like, why is this dude talking to my kid at 1 a.m.? So my dad was listening on the other line. And it was just us talking about radio and sports and whatever. It was so awkward. And he would end the call every time by saying, I love you.
I feel like this is like part of a dark past that you're trying to cope with. That's why you're laughing. This is actually kind of pretty scary to hear about.
I know it's weird to think about because as like a 7th grader, I never met him, but and he died. But as a 7th grader, you go,
that's fine.
Yeah, as a 7th grader, you go, oh, okay, and I would kind of say it too. I'd be like, I love you. And when you said it, it wasn't like when you said it to your mom or your aunt. You're like,
why did you even feel the need to say it? That's the
but
thing.
I was 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade. Yeah, but I know not to talk to like older men to like just say I love you.
But I thought he was bigger in radio. I was like, oh my god, this guy works in radio. Blah blah. Dude, I was easily influenced. Weird. I'm so lucky I didn't meet him.
Jeez, man. That's crazy. Well, it's funny that, and I never thought I would like know any kid touchers, but like the one kid in my school, and he's like younger than me too. Quiet guy. He was a little nice getting to like knowing him. He was on the football team, and out of nowhere, like I remember after graduation, just a month later, we just go on the news like local teen boy in Pasco County got charged with touching a kid, and this is his 2nd or 3rd offense.
What's his name?
And I was like,
was he found guilty?
I don't think so. I don't know. Like, I think it's still. Well, I think it's still work. It's still like work. But apparently, it was his 3rd. I'll tell you during the break.
Oh.
But it was his 3rd accusation. And it wasn't by the same kid either. So then, like we saw like his mugshot, and his mugshot was just flying around through our school or like through all the kids, and that's just the Jesus. And and what's crazy is that one time during we were playing basketball in the gym, and then he comes in and he's like, "Bro, I need cranberry juice. Why do you need cranberry juice?" Yo, I heard that. I don't even know if this is true. It's like I heard that works whenever your girl, like a girl was sucking my dick last night, and like she left bite marks there. She didn't know how to do it, and then we just like at the moment we thought about it as just it was nothing. It's just kids just trying to look cool. And then when we see the mugshot in the news and like one of those like eureka moments in a movie come, and it was like a flashback to that event that made that event more creepy. That's like the weirdest.
Creepy.
Yeah, I don't know how to. Yeah, he's. I don't know what he's doing right now. I think he's. I don't know if it's still going.
I don't think life is good for him.
He's crazy.
I don't think he's killing it in life right now.
I don't know what he's doing right now. I just hope he's not near any schools.
It is weird. Did you ever see anything out of him, or were you just kind of like...
We just thought he was a quiet dude, and he was just a little
it's
awkward.
Always the quiet ones.
Well, you know what's crazy? He was quiet, but like at the same time, like he kind of grew out of his shell. Or he came out of his shell, and then he was just kind of being more interactive towards the end of the school, and we were all like, "This kid's all right," you know.
Yeah,
he just needed, we just needed to get to know him, but I guess we didn't know him enough.
Man, I don't know
what were we talking about? What were we talking about? Toys R Us.
You know what's weird?
We just went from Toys R Us to pedophiles.
You know what's funny? I want to keep talking about Toys R Us, but you know what's funny? I was talking to S-Dot, who is a great new addition to our promotions team at the Bone. Mm-hmm. Sean Morelli. He was talking to me about the show. He was like, I listen. He goes, you do a good job. And he gave me some advice for it. He's like, you need to figure out how to have different ways to get to the next segment. He goes, when you do the show with AJ, you go from topic to topic. So we literally just did what he said not to do, but we're also having a laid back talk. But we literally went from talking about Toys R Us to pedophiles.
I mean, listen, that was just the metamorphosis of the conversation.
It was going to happen.
It was going to have to happen.
It was bound to happen.
Toys R Us plus time equals pedophiles. It always works out like that. You can't deny it. Sean, I love you, man, but you just can't. You had to see that coming. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I can't think of any other way to transition into Toys R Us, but I'll just do it this way. Listen, here's my thing about people that are into throwbacks or into memories. Go on. What's up?
Did you go to Toys R Us a lot when you were a kid? I didn't go that much. I didn't go that much.
Listen.
Like I went more to KB Toys than Toys R Us.
Listen to me. I don't know anybody who went to Toys R Us. People in 2018 brag about what they buy. Oh, I got this new package from Amazon.com in the mail, and I'll take a picture of it. Oh, my God, I just got this great deal at Target or Walmart. I've never, ever, in the 10 years that I've been on social media, have any recollection of anybody talking about Toys R Us. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be the buzzkill, but listen. It's going out of business for a reason. It's like this. I feel like because time keeps going by, and 2010 is close to being 10 years ago, and we're almost near a new decade. I feel like because things are changing so fast, people are in denial about it. I'm kind of in denial about it, but I think about it a lot. But here's my thing. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Tweet at Promo Red 1025. Call my voicemail 856-49-HOPPE. I'll play it on the next show. Has anybody ever been like, oh my God, the new NBA 2K17 is out. I want to go buy it at Toys R Us. Has anybody been like, oh my God, the new DVD for this show I like is out. It's at Toys R Us. I want to go buy it. Even people with kids, it's such a hassle to go shopping. I mean, it's not really fun to go shopping. I don't know if it's because I'm weird and goofy. I just don't like talking to people because they ask me how tall I am when I'm in line. So if I can buy a thing on Amazon, I'm kind of an introvert at times. I don't like dealing with people in public. So I just don't like leaving the house. So what I'm saying is there's no surprise that Toys R Us is going out of business. It's clickbait. I see a lot of radio shows going, oh my God, it's so sad, blah, blah, blah. Come check out our website to see the info on Toys R Us going out of business. But have you gone? The one in my hometown up north, it closed in 2006. I think the last time I went to a Toys R Us was 2006. I don't think I've gone in recently. I would feel creepy if I went inside. I would feel weird.
As you should. Yeah, that's a very creepy thing to do. You shouldn't be a grown man going into Toys R Us.
So, did you go recently? Do you have any recollection of it?
And it's funny, and I thought about it. I'm like, we went to Toys R Us a lot as a kid, but no, I think...
As a kid,
I went like probably once or twice, and it was for like... Because I was into like Nerf guns
when
I was younger, and then, so like they have a huge selection of Nerf guns. There was the one that looked like machine guns, and I thought they were cool. A little aggressive, but they were pretty cool. And... yeah, no, I think... Well, the problem is that, okay, if kids are allowed to drive, maybe Toys R Us would still be in business. But, honestly, all Toys R Us is just maybe a place to kill a little time with your child. Because, I honestly, there's not a lot of times where I went to Toys R Us where it wasn't just a window shopping session.
It's hard to go there because as a kid, you want everything. Yeah. So, your parents don't really bring you. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's go to Toys R Us and hear you whine about us not buying anything.
And then also, if parents are in charge, they don't want to spend $600 for, a toy that isn't, it's going to be thrown away in the next year.
Dude, it's just... I'm at this point... I hate shopping so much. I hate dealing with Florida traffic that if I have to wait 3 days to get it, but it can come to my door via Amazon, unless it's like a Mivu camera where I want to be able to return it, I don't care. I don't.
And this is the toy experience. This is the toy shopping experience of today. You see something on, the kid sees something on the TV, ask for it. Oh, the kid hasn't been a little shit this week, so yeah, we'll get him this toy. Go on Amazon, they get it. It's in within 3 days, maybe 1 day if you have that Prime subscription. So you don't need to go to a place. You don't need to go out of your way.
You know what I'm sick of too. I'm tired of this. No. This is what I'm tired of hearing about. I'm tired of... Listen, it's great to think about what we had growing up and the old trends. It's great to think about, oh, I miss this and I miss that. But I hate when, a meme comes up and it's like, remember the days when it was a Friday night and a rental video place was packed? Yeah, it fucking sucked. Because number one, everybody was rushing to get the latest copy of Garfield the movie.
That's your second fuck.
Yeah, okay. The first one was correcting you, so that fuck was cool. Nobody ever liked going to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or Family Video up in the Midwest. It was a pain. Because the pain was this. A lot of times when I would get rental videos... The thing is this. It would be like you had the Friday night off, and then you have to watch it within 2 days, and then you would forget to return it, and then you have to pay them $250, and your mom's mad at you. It wasn't fun renting movies. There's nothing nice about it. There's nothing I miss about it. I like paying $9 a month for Netflix and having whatever movie I want. And hey... Allegedly, I can watch whatever movie I want via Popcorn Time, the software, or putlocker.com. Allegedly. I can watch whatever I want. I don't miss, oh, wow. There's nothing fun about it. Besides maybe renting a game, there's nothing I miss about Blockbuster. There's nothing. I'm sick of... And it's great to have memories, man. It's great to think about the old times. I don't miss CDs. Today... I went to a certain shop. I don't like saying the name of businesses at all. But I lost my laptop charger. And I need that to do this show. And just in general, you need your laptop charger. Losing a charger is a bitch. If I had a backup or if I had any way that I didn't need it for this show or for my job or whatever, I would have just bought it cheaper on Amazon.com or eBay or shop.com, AJ. I would have bought it and waited 2 to 3 days. But no, I had to go to a certain shop that has electronics. I wonder which one it is. And it was literally a ghost town. 10 years ago, it would have been packed. But here's the thing. Remember when you would go to a shop and some of the items would be taken off the shelf in the CD section?
Yeah.
Literally, I don't even know why they make CDs. I don't know if it's just for like the average hardworking Joe that doesn't have a smartphone, but why are you even making CDs, dude? Like, all these different trends, dude, I don't miss. I don't know why people... It's fun to think about the good old days, quote unquote, but it costed more money.
That and, like... People have this nostalgia goggles on because they remember their childhood and
There's
they're just getting all this
it.
stuff. I mean, honestly, yeah, but that stuff is left in the childhood with the innovations of technology and whatever media that you used to consume. It's a lot better now. And the fact I remember one of my friends came and was like, dude, I just got a Tamagotchi I bought off of eBay. And he sits in front of the couch. But while he's sitting on the couch, there's like a Xbox One sitting right there with way better games. And it's, you know, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
And you know what's going to happen?
And then you're going to realize it's not as good as what we have now.
And you know what's going to happen too? So if the Tamagotchi came out in 2005, that was 13 years ago, so now it's 2018. In 2031...
No, they came out in the 90s.
Well, I guess I had one in 2005. Okay, so if that came out 20 years ago and your friend 20 years ago had it, if it's 2018 and 20 years will be 2038, it's going to be the same thing. Kids are going to be like, or not kids, but people our age are going to be in their 40s and 50s. They're going to be like, oh my God, the Xbox One is back. Oh my God. And there's going to be whatever there's out in 20 years is going to be out. And we're going to go through the same thing. We're going to be like, oh my God, the Xbox. It just move on.
You know what?
Everything gets replaced. Move on.
You know what I also kind of hate? The people that go on, go on YouTube or whatever place to get your music and say, like, I would go to like an Iron Maiden video or say Guns N' Roses, and then some kid, like, there'll be everyone typing in, and it's like, oh, kids these days don't know real music. This was the stuff back in the day. Like, this music now makes me want to kill myself. And then you get that one kid, and this one pisses me off the most. The one kid's like, I'm 12 years old, but I don't like Justin Bieber or anything. I like the good stuff, like Guns N' Roses and Led Zeppelin.
You know what's annoying?
Like, great kid. That's amazing. No, fuck off.
Is the fact that in the 70s, what music we liked now was equivalent to that. Our grandparents didn't like what our parents listened to. Our great-grandparents didn't like what our grandparents listened to. Our great-great-grandparents didn't like what our grandparents listened to. Beethoven's mom thought his music sucked. I'm sorry. Every single generation doesn't like what is out now. I'm sick of these Generation X, and this is not a millennial bitching. I don't like my generation either. Don't worry. But listen. I'm sick and tired of Gen X going, oh, the music now sucks. Oh, yeah, because I want to party all night, or whatever that song is by Kiss. Oh, such original lyrics. You guys hold him to such a high standard, the band Kiss. Oh, wow, what a great guy. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of, let's rip into millennials. Shut up.
You know, it's funny we're having this, but like probably like the next generation's gonna have their shitty music, and then we're gonna be like, oh, that's not as good as how it was before. And then
I have a very fair, balanced approach to music, dude. I go, I think it's horrible. Like Lil Pump's terrible. I think anything that's in top 40 is terrible. But it's not for me. It's not my age group.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not for us.
That's like because like they would do cartoon reboots of like say like if you the show Powerpuff Girls, and then they do a reboot on Cartoon Network of 2000 that started in 2016, and all the older fans that are like, oh, this isn't Powerpuff Girls. I'm a 25-year-old and I used to like Powerpuff Girls, but this Powerpuff Girls isn't. This Powerpuff Girls isn't the same as before, or like, oh, this Powerpuff Girl isn't meant for us. It's like
it's not 1992, bro.
It's like a kid's show, and I'm like, it's a kid's show. That's what it is. You know, you can't be mad at them going for
Listen. I don't know if they're just out of ideas, but
they are.
But it's like,
well,
listen. It's
because
like,
what the internet did is because everyone had their opinions, and then they went into this one forum and it's like, hey, remember this? I like that. Hey, I like that too. Let's Yeah, I really like that. And then the corporations are like, oh, well, they like that. Well, let's give them what they like. And then they're like giving kids TV shows or doing movies, but while the next generation's like, what the hell was that?
But people need to quit with the reboots. I mean, I get it does well. The thing is, the reboots do well in the ratings, so they're winning in the end, the TV networks. But it's like Full House. Even Roseanne coming back, I'm like...
Well, that was my number.
Annoying.
That's my number one thing with reboots is that if you just keep rehashing shows and rehashing,
let it sit. There's a reason why the show was great. It was original. Come up with original ideas.
Yeah, exactly. It was original, and the fact that you're doing a reboot just kind of kills the purpose. And now there's not going to be that much of a demand for original content, because that's where greatness comes from. It can't just come from something that happened 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Because apparently there's shows out there doing reboots from 5 years ago. Literally, what you have to do is, I don't know what you have to do because like you said, these things are working. A lot of people are making money off of it. There's a show called Teen Titans Go, which is one of my favorite shows of all time was Teen Titans on Cartoon Network, and then they redid it, and I think it's crap. But you know what? These kids are buying it up, and that's the most profitable show they have on Cartoon Network. I'm a big cartoon. I don't know what I am.
I'm into many different things, but I just hate reboots.
At the same time, like they don't know that like there's actual creators of their own shows that are actually looking for an outlet to actually put their show on air, and you're kind of putting them aside, and it's like, oh, well, they want the latest, they want a new Ed, Edd and Eddy, so let's just put this out. By the way, Ed, Edd and Eddy was the shit back in the day. That was a good show.
All right, Chuck Jock keeps swearing.
Okay. Why are you looking at her Twitter? That is weird. I'm not. Don't say the name.
Because she randomly just added me, so I was like, oh, okay.
I know, but you're like looking at everything. You're looking at the followers. You're looking
I'm
at.
Fascinated.
That is so weird. Like, let's just go back. Let's just go back to our prep. I know I know what I said was kind of boring, but I don't need you to. I don't need you to do that right now. This is your show. I'm trying to look out for your show.
All right. Here's the deal.
And he goes back to the page. That's what's great.
Here's the deal. We're going to come back.
Do what you want, man. Do what you want.
And wrap everything up. Talk about a few more things in the news, this and that. We will be right back. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to my show.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. NBA D-League coaches, nationally syndicated radio hosts, TV writers, comedians. You never know who will call in a happy hour.
This is what I sound like after 5 years. You back, kid? I was born again.
Back to Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. We're about to wrap things up. So where can they find the Lazy Ass Podcast?
Before I talk about that, shout out to the Fortnite cult, the Fortnite group that I play with. Also, they can find the Lazy Ass Podcast on Twitter at Those Lazy Asses, and also on Facebook at the Lazy Ass Podcast. And you can find me on Twitter at PromoRed1025.
All right, here's the deal. RyanHoppyRadio.com, add Hoppy Radio on Snapchat, Ryan Hoppy Radio on all forms of social media, like the page on Facebook, Happy Hour. RyanHoppyRadio@gmail.com, RyanHoppyRadio.com. Get the Hoppy Radio app in the Google Play and iOS shop by searching up Hoppy Radio, Hoppe Radio. All right. This has been Happy Hour. Thank you for sitting in, AJ. It was a lot of fun.
Fun being here as always.
Great. Nice hearing from you. This has been Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Signing off. Bye, AJ.
Bye.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.